Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm giving another little update on a couple of videos I made yesterday or in the day before. I don't know, maybe it's more than two. But it's about Adam. You know, I used to do this this little series, Not My Circus, Not My Monkeys. You know, it's an expression, of course. I'm not thinking of somebody as monkey. Yeah, you don't dehumanize people. It's not appropriate to dehumanize them. But I'm using it as the expression. And that would be his family. They're so dysfunctional. That family of Adams. You know, he's older than I. We met and married over 40 years ago. And they live in a different country, across the globe. Not all of them have been to this country. I'm not going there. And it wasn't allowed. Excuse me, wasn't even allowed. Okay, from what I remember, over 40 years, yeah. Like I remember everything. But anyway, I made something at the end of each video. I think I made some statements like yesterday at the end of it. I mentioned this about, you know, he has this family that they just invite themselves over whenever they feel like it, you know. Like the last one was his sister, whose age is between mine and his. He's older. His sister, she was in Canada with two of her three daughters. And they just decided, she and their younger brother, who's here in Texas, had just decided that between the two of them, that her youngest daughter, who's now 31, this was like 2.5, 3 years ago, that she would come and stay with us and then go to university to work on a master's degree. She'd go live there and stay in her own apartment and all this blah, blah, blah. And that's what happened. Did not ask us last minute. Told, you know, Adam had a, you know, hint at it, but then at the last minute they just basically said, oh, she's got her ticket now, she's going to be on her way. You know, that kind of thing. And, you know, I'm telling you, it's usually his family would be his family of origin, plus like his cousins, one side of his cousins, and their family of origin. Okay, so, and many of them live here in Texas. Not all of them. So one lives, you know, his family. One of them, I'm just going to call all of them his family. One lives in California with a few of them. And, where else? But mainly Texas, that way. And Canada, somewhere in Canada. And then the other ones live back in their country, which is not Canada. I don't mention it anyway. But when I really have to forgive me, like Adam told me today that he heard that it's extreme pollen all across the United States, maybe everywhere, I don't know. Because I have not been feeling so great. So, oh boy, I've been having some problems with breathing. It's getting better, but whoa, man. And I'm just not up for much of anything, which is important to the rest of this. But anyway, his family, they're bad. They're not good people. Really, they're all like, most of them are in some kind of professional field. Like one of them is a dentist. His sister, she was a teacher. His older brother was a professor. You know, Adam's, you know, I say was, people still think of themselves as that, even when they're no longer working. Adam would be he just recently retired, electrical engineer and slash, I don't know what you call the other one. He had told me, I mean, he added that on later on. But it's basically programming to me. You know, the terminology changes so often, you know, as it is. But they're all like professional fields, most of them. I don't know if any of them are not. And so they come off, they come off to other people like, oh, they're very responsible, but in person they are just so entitled. And they're these people who tell everybody, they're basically, I call them the actually family. They tell people, it doesn't matter who, from what I understand. Something like the person makes a statement, and they'll either say or imply actually, and then they'll tell the person the truth of it is, or what it actually is, or something like this. They're going to correct the person. And Adam told me one time that they actually think that is a way to continue having conversation with somebody. No, I've never known that to be the case. What I've known that to be is the person does not want anything to do with them. They think that they know everything, and they don't. They're the kind of people who, I have a sister like this, that thinks that because they know one field and they're really good at it, that they know everything across all fields. Really, seriously. Yeah, and that is not the case. Okay, I was going to get to the short of it. So the short of it was that, these people, I'm telling you. And we just had this whole bad thing with his niece. She left the country about 7 weeks ago. In fact, I think today or tomorrow would be 7 weeks. Something like that. And thank goodness she was horrible. She was a terrible person like her mother, his sister that I mentioned. And I don't play with it anymore. I don't downplay this. They both try to kill me. They knew that I have chemical allergies. We had long discussion with it. Don't do this, and they do it anyway. Go and spray. She did. They were here at different times, 8 years apart. But his sister was not here when his niece was here. And just things like that. His niece would go and spray. Went right upstairs when I told her. Went right upstairs and sprayed Raid, and because she saw a dead gnat, G-N-A-T. That required that she spray a whole lot of Raid. Where did she get Raid? Yes, exactly. And she was prepared, plus Lysol. Okay, and I had just told her, I'm downstairs. He's sitting there. I tell her, don't spray, any kind of perfume or any kind of that, because I have perfume allergies. It could literally kill me. And, I have severe. And, told her all this. He was there. He heard me tell her, and she walked right then upstairs and sprayed them. I don't know if that was the first time she did it, the second time, but she did it again like a year and a half later. And when she's visiting. So much to it. Like, he wound up kicking her out of the house. She got kicked out of the program right before that, and which is why she was back here. She got kicked out of her master's degree program she was working on, her job, her apartment. Just bad, because they're so entitled. Anyway, after all that, his sister and his younger brother had decided that they were just going to change our lives. And she was going to come stay with us until she got her apartment and enrolled in the university and everything on. He was going to help her. Not asking, telling. And now, in all of this, they're not communicating with me. You see? They're only communicating whenever they do communicate. It's with him. I don't know. I have a feeling that he's got such loyalty toward them that he doesn't think straight. He just gets involved in, oh, I'm going to see my niece. Oh, I'm going to see my, he gets all happy he's going to be able to. But then he realizes these people are bad. Takes him a while. Then he gets all this. And when has anything to do with him, he finds out anything or overhears anything, whatever it is, he gets to be I call him grumpy old man. Okay, you know, like that movie, Grumpy Old Man. Yes, because he does. He gets so grumpy. And just recently I said on a video, he's been acting really weird. It was just a few days ago when I was saying this, that he's been acting really weird, doing weird things. He's been grumpy, and I said, yeah, you know, I was thinking about it, and I was like, Then thinking to myself, something's going on with his family. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video or not. There must be behind the scenes. He's not telling me because he knows how I feel about all of them. Yeah, I don't stop him from what he wants to do with them. I don't, you know, because, no, I'm not going to let him, as he's tried to tell me before, you just stopped me from seeing my family. I said, that's full of, every time, same thing. That's full of BS, because I'm saying, go, go, go. Yes, I do, because I want some time away from him. Having any time away from that man, since he started working from home, it was 4 years ago, and then he retired just recently, and he's home all the time. He does not want to go anywhere. This is someone who doesn't want to go anywhere. Not, you know, the only thing he does go to is his doctor's appointments. And other than that, he does not want to go anywhere. And I want to be, you know, everybody needs a little time to themselves. I don't get it. I have to go somewhere in order to be without him. Okay? Seriously. You know, and sometimes he wants to go, the few times he wants to get out, and that's his exercise, he'll go with me. But other than that, I have to, like right now, come sit outside. You know, I do this just because other reasons. This is about me. It's not always about him, you know what I'm saying? Because yes, anybody, all of them in that family, they will somehow make everything all about them. You know, it's just all about them. Anyway, so I encourage him to see them. But what I don't encourage is for them to invite themselves over. But, you know, I was saying, he was acting weird. And I don't think he actually told me the truth. But, and I started thinking to myself, and I think I mentioned on video, yeah, which one of them is going to try this again, this now? Just 7 weeks. Which one of his family members is going to suddenly find a reason? Oh, they're going to invite themselves over. And I thought, his older brother. And maybe even his family. Well, as it turned out, the very next day, which was yesterday, he says, oh, yeah, you know, I had a episode in the shower. This is my second time with a breathing issue going on, and I had to bang on the wall. He said he couldn't hear me, and I tapped on the wall, and then finally I banged on the wall, and the dogs went crazy. He come in there, and I said, you know, he helped me. I had managed to put on my shirt and some, you know, my underwear. But that was as far as I could get, and he helped me, you know, do my hair, dry my hair, and everything. And while he was doing that, he said, oh, by the way, you know, my brother, you know, his older brother, and he was talking about his older brother calling, and he said, he's talking about coming here to Texas. He was in Florida. His older brother was in Florida with a house that they had there, and they had rented out, and the people had left, and they left it a mess, and he had to go there. His older brother had to go there and hire some people to fix it up so they could rent it again, and he'll take care of all that stuff. And his older brother said that when he comes back, he wants to come, you know, he's going back to California. They had moved to California, but okay, losing my voice again. But when he thought that his brother thought that on his way back to California, instead he'd stop in Texas and visit all of his Texas relatives. You know, that would be like Adam, his brother, and his other brother that lives in Texas, not here in San Antonio. This is a suburb north of Dallas City all to itself. big city. And his brother lives further south, and then the other rest of the family lives further south than that. And that's the cousins, and their mother's there. She's 99 years old. He wants to visit her. Adam wants to visit her too. Oh, just on and on and on. So all these people here, you know, in Texas. Goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, allergies. So anyway, which I'm kind of glad that I can breathe again. Okay, I'm not going to get off topic. But, so he tells me this, and there I am, just haven't got it out of the shower. I have to get him to help me, all this stuff. You know, I'm having a trouble with breathing. Yesterday was really bad. And it's the difference, I think, with the weather. Like right now, it says it's 79, but yesterday morning was cold. And we, you know, turning the AC unit on and off, and you know, heater, and then back onto, you know, cold. That's not, this just, no. Anyway, it was bad for me. And here I am, I'm just saying, okay. You know, I'm thinking I'm not well here. And he's telling me, oh, his brother. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, like I said, I don't stop them. I keep, you know, I don't keep it bottled up inside because I make videos. But I don't stop him. You know, grumpy old man, gets angry, all this stuff. He's only thinking about what they're doing. He doesn't think it through. And then he starts to get mad anyway, because he's thought it through and see that, hey, wait a minute, they're changing my life just out of the blue, which his brother's doing too. I don't have, that brother of his, I don't have really much of a problem with at all. He's probably the only one, really, that I haven't had a lot of problem with. You know, I don't think, maybe one time that it was spurred on by his sister. When she and his brother, that brother, were here. Adam was not working from home then. He was at his job, and his sister instigated, you know, a problem. His brother doesn't speak English that well. So we had a language barrier, and his sister didn't either. I think she lied, just like her daughter. Her daughter lied too, about their, you know, how much of English they understood. Yeah, they just used it, manipulation, whichever way. Seriously. So I don't have trouble with this one. And he said his brother, you know, wanted to stop, and then he's going to go, his brother's going to go on to the next one. He just wanted to stop here, see us, and then go on and see the other one, and go on. And then he's really wanting to see the one, you know, his aunt, their aunt, who's 99. You know, she's in the States and all this stuff. That would be seeing the cousins and everything. You know, it's all planned out. Why don't you learn how to ask? You know, this is how I see it. And, you know, I really hadn't thought about it. Seriously, hadn't thought about it. Go back all those years, over 40 years. You know, it wasn't very often that we would see any of them. Not often at all. I mean, years could go by. But when we did, it was quite often that they invited themselves. You know, I don't think Adam ever invited. Maybe that was the whole problem. He wouldn't invite them. But then they would invite themselves. And especially the younger brother and his younger brother's girlfriend, who is total queen of histrionic behavior. You know, she thinks she's a queen bee, maybe, but, you know, just histrionic behavior. Oh my goodness, loud, obnoxious. You know, the expression. I looked up this expression. Why do we always say, you know, they smell like they work? You know, how does it go? Oh, like a French brothel. Awful. French whorehouse. Yeah, that kind of thing. That's what she smells like. Okay, Adam came outside. I'm looking at him and going, what are you doing? You know? and because he had his wallet and his cell phone and all. So I'm going to pick up my brother. So anyway, now you see how quickly that happened. But he'd already told me this. Yesterday he said my brother called. But when he was telling me about it, I said, well, when is his brother supposed to be here? He said, I don't know. He said he didn't say, his older brother, when he was going to be here in Texas from Florida, because he's working on that house, hiring people. He was organizing it. So then later on he called and he said, I'm coming tomorrow. Need to pick me up at the airport. I'm telling you, they change people's lives. They change it all up to spur of the moment. Now, in a way, I can understand it because, Adam had told me one time before, just with his niece, he said, well, you know how it is, they're family, and they think that your family would, of course, be open to somebody coming there. In my family, one time, the last time anything like that almost happened was one of my sisters. She lived where a hurricane was going to go through there. So she called, and she asked if she said she wanted to come. I said, okay, come stay with me. She wound up not doing it, and she wound up not even calling. She had called and said they were on their way. They were halfway there. Then all of a sudden she called, and she didn't call, and finally I called her. I said, what happened? I'm worried about y'all. She said, oh, we decided to do something else. I'm like, really? That's my family. And that was, I don't know how many years ago. But now, I'd say it's too bad, so sad. No, it wouldn't, but still, it would be very unusual if they called me, because I said, nope, no contact, and I'm estranged from them. My choice. But anyway, so Adam's going to go get his brother. It was that fast, and his brother even said, I left early, and he went to the airport early, like hours early, because he said, I just don't want to mess it up. I want to make sure, he said, I'm not doing anything, I've finished, and I'm just going to sit there. He said, I'd rather go to the airport, walk around. So his brother is on his way, and so Adam's going to pick him up. But, see how just from yesterday to today, they just changed a person's life. If Adam had anything today. Okay, I don't know if you heard all that noise, or you heard it as noise, but my alarm went off. When I have to take medications and such, I put them on my alarms. Put them all under alarms, so they'll go off and remind me, because I'll be busy. Anyway, so he's going to go get him, and they're going to come back. And the house is a disaster, because I had two of those, what I call bouncy house bed mattresses. And one of them is in the breakfast nook. One of them's right here where I am now. I'm in my office. I'm looking right at it, sitting up there. And he's saying that maybe his brother's older than Adam, and Adam's older than me. And I'm thinking, he thinks his brother will help him to carry it upstairs. And I'm like, wow, these are not young men. But, it's always something. But, like you see, they just change the person's life at whim, whatever they're doing. But like I said, I can understand in a way, because in a way my family is the same way, but usually there's something leading up to this. And it's not like I'm telling you, calling the last minute and say, I'm on my way. No, they're bad about not calling and say, oh, we changed our mind. That was just one incident. But no, and then like I was saying earlier, I started thinking about it today, that maybe they always did this. Starting the first one I met was a female cousin of his, from that side of the family. The one I said that she was living in Texas. What is all this noise? Okay, so it was Adam. I don't know if he had left and came back that short, but he was having trouble getting his windshield clean. The front windshield. So he asked me to hold the hose while he was inside and making it work. He just had some animal had gotten into his SUV. When was that? A week or so ago? A couple weeks ago, maybe maximum. And ate up all the, chewed up a bunch of the wires. It was $800 to get that done. But anyway, that's another thing. This stuff, you can't really complain too much. But hey, it does take time out of your day. He's going to go there to pick him up. It's probably going to take, another couple, 2, 3 hours of his day, which is, okay, fine, family and all that. But just, to me, it's the nerve of people to think that they can change your life. Just because they want to do certain things, your life is going to change without asking permission. Like I said, I don't know what they say to Adam. And then he tells me something else. But this time he just said, I just wanted to give you an FYI, my brother's talking about coming here. And he said he wants to come here. So, and then the next thing I know, his brother's coming the next day. And I had already said before that Adam was acting weird. And that's what he does when there's something going on with his family. So his brother probably told him before then. And he just wasn't... Because Adam is the type that, when he'll believe it when he sees it. This kind of thing. So, he needs to learn. Over 40 years, do you think he's going to learn? I don't either. But and that's wrong. It's totally wrong. If I just sprung on him one day, oh, my sister's coming, this sister, that sister, my niece, my other niece, they're going to be here in a very short while. Change your world. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.